Hi everybody! I'm going to show you 3 quick tips on how to photograph your artwork well so that it looks really good when you put it on our Art Society Facebook group or on our gallery wall on our website. So tip number 1 is about getting the light right, because you're better using natural daylight to photograph your work rather than an artificial light that might give it too much of an orangey yellow sort of glow and distort the colours. And you'll have to think about how you access that natural daylight, particularly if it's on a bright sunny day like it is today. So if you could choose a room in your house that's not getting direct sunlight streaming in through the window, and position your artwork somewhere where it can be in that daylight but not getting too much bright light on one side or in shadow. So in this, for example, on my desk here, I won't want it near there where it starts to be in the shadow with different light falling onto it. And actually today, this sort of position on my desk would work quite nicely. Another tip that you could do is move your artwork a bit more into the middle of the room, and I've put it here onto a chair, so it's just down a bit away from the window but still getting good natural light filtering in from, because it's quite a small room that I'm in at the moment, so it gives a nice even light across the whole thing. So that can work quite nicely. And putting your artwork slightly lower down like this or on the floor will help with this next tip that I'm going to give you. So tip number 2, when you're photographing your artwork, try and get your artwork as square as you can in the frame of your camera or your phone that you're filming it on. So although shots like this can look quite nice and arty in a magazine or something like that, to display it on our gallery wall, you want to try and get it as square as possible. If it's at an angle like this, where you can see that the lines of the page don't match up to the lines on the camera, you might find that it'll distort some of your artwork, particularly if you've got buildings in. So line up your camera like this so that the line of the paper is parallel to the line of the camera on both sides, on this axis and this axis down here. And if you can get it as square as possible like that, that will help to display your artwork really well, but also for us to crop it so that when we put it on the gallery wall, it's looking really good. Now for tip number 3, it's hard for me to show you this one because I haven't got a really good example, but it's more relevant if you're using nice smudgy effects like charcoal, soft watercolour effects, and particularly with pastels. If you zoom in with your camera like this, and there aren't any hard lines like this for the camera to focus on, there's a danger that your artwork becomes really fuzzy and out of focus. So to help your camera, zoom back out with your camera so that the camera can either focus on the sharp edge of the paper or the book. And if that's not working, if you put a solid object next to your artwork and then focus the camera onto that solid object, it'll make sure that your artwork in the middle is as focused as possible. So hopefully you'll find that those 3 quick tips will help you to get some really good images of your artwork, because we love seeing them, and it'll be great to have as many as possible up on our gallery wall and on our Facebook Saturday programme group.